Good evening, friends. We start tonight with a reported major shift in American foreign policy in Syria. President Trump will end the CIA's program to arm and train Syrian rebels fighting against the Assad government. The move is likely to be met with approval in Moscow. The Russian government has been a strong backer of the Syrian Assad regime for years. The move comes after a recent ceasefire in Syria negotiated between Presidents Trump and Putin at the G20 in Germany. The ceasefire has held for almost 2 weeks now. There has been increasing international acknowledgement peace in Syria could exist without the removal of Assad. In Paris last week, during a press conference with President Trump, President Macron of France said that removing Assad was not a priority. For more on all of this, we're joined tonight by former U.S. diplomat Jim Jatras. Jim, good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, guys. Good to be here.
We have not really had a real defined policy come out of the Trump administration. This is really the first significant move, or is it? What do you make of it?
Well, first off, I think the ceasefire in southwest Syria was itself a minor miracle, and which took me by surprise very positively. But this potentially is huge if it's all it's cracked up to be. This is potentially a real game changer. Let's remember these so-called moderate rebels. There are various offshoots of al-Qaeda like al-Zanki and Arar al-Sham. They're really bad people. They're killing Christians. They're doing all sorts of horrible things. We shouldn't have been supporting them in the first place. And if Trump is going to do this, and it sounds from the reports that this is serious, this is a real game changer.
How will the war hawks and these hardline conservatives on Capitol Hill respond to this?
Oh, they're going to scream bloody murder. You're already seeing today unnamed officials saying this is a victory for Putin, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't occur to some people that not supporting terrorists is the right thing for America, having nothing to do with Russia.
Well, the American people don't have the appetite for being in Syria either with boots on the ground. So it's somewhat of a populist move by the president, isn't it?
Well, there are some people who say because the American people don't want American boots on the ground, that's why we have to support proxies like these very, very bad people, because we have to block the Iranians or thwart the Russians or something like that. And I think what this shows some strategic sense on President Trump's part. And also, I would commend Senator Rand Paul and Representative Tulsi Gabbard, who've been trying to do this legislatively.
Do you think that Hillary Clinton would have done this?
Not on your life. Are you kidding? That you know, this, look what she did in Libya as Secretary of State, this whole idea of regime change. And look, there are documents showing that during her time as Secretary of State, she knew that al-Qaeda and even ISIS were benefiting from some of our aid programs and those of our allies like Saudi Arabia and Turkey and so forth.
How much Russian influence was in this decision, if any?
I wouldn't look at it so much as Russian influence, but rather what Trump said he would do during the campaign, that we have strategic interests in common with Russia, we agree on a common program, and that means fighting the terrorists.
The conservatives, and I'm just speculating here, are going to say that the president said America doesn't win anymore. They're going to view this as a loss. They wanted Assad out. The policy of the United States over a number of administrations has been to get rid of Assad. Hafez Assad was terrible in the eyes of the United States, and now his son. This is the president living up to his campaign talk that we're not going to be the international police officer. What about that?
It is, and I wouldn't put it in conservative terms. Look, I'm a conservative, and remember, a lot of this anti-Trump Russia stuff is coming very much from the left.
Yeah.
The neocons and the whom I consider phony conservatives and some of the left are in bed together, and they're very anti-Russian, and they're very for regime change.
So no more cruise missile strikes on Syria? Is that where we are?
I hope that's where we are. I hope we don't see another provocation, another false flag, gas attack like we saw in Idlib, like we saw in Ghouta. So look, we're not out of the woods here yet, but I think this is blazing the trail in the right direction.
Jim Jatras, always a pleasure. Good to have you with us. Thank you.